So many people have asked me about the Ankh. Ra, you don't teach about the Ankh. You don't carry the Ankh. Why is that? Okay, today you're going to get all the answers. I don't need to carry the Ankh. If I choose to do that, I'll do so. But for you to be able to understand how the power of the Ankh works is not something that's external, but it is something that's inside of you. And while so many people carry the Ankh, I'm sorry to say this, that it's just a waste carrying the Ankh, because the very same people that carry the Ankh, they're missing the important value, what it is there for. It has nothing to do with the physical aspect of carrying that stick that is in Ankh, but you can get it yourself. It becomes an extension of energy which you expand in order for you to be able to will a purpose within your life, or something that can be able to filter a way of connecting to nature on how you can be able to command things to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the secondary way of using the Ankh. For the people that carry the Ankh, or used to carry the Ankh in the ancient Egyptians, they were immortals. That was one major important representation which lead and connects you to the afterlife. But the truth is, everybody has an Ankh within them, inside. For the very same people today, most of them, if they do not know, some would know, is over the fact that an Ankh is a very sexual practice through intimacy. If you get your sexual energy correct and redirected in a sense that creates an Ankh around your whole entire body, then when you go through sexual pleasure, that energy will never be wasted. You can carry an Ankh right now, but when you become intimate with your partner, you waste that energy. So there's no reason for you to carry it, because you don't even understand the value of it, how it impacts your spiritual worth through your sexual intimacy, for you to be able to cycle that energy and keep it within and don't just waste it. Right? You need to know that when you go through sexual orgasm, you do 8 breaths in order for you to harness the power inside of you through that space, as you do a breathing technique in order for you to be able to recycle that energy back to you, that you don't actually let it be wasted. The moment when you become through orgasm, you hold your breath, and as you are about to release the fluid, which is not very that important, but the energy of it that carries the fluid, if you can be able to recycle it back through the holding of your breath and center that sexual energy as you go through sexual orgasm, you pressure it in your heart chakra and make sure that it exits at the back of your body, at the back of your spine. As you now turn around that energy to go upside down the other way and return it back to your heart chakra. The moment you do that, already you have created your own Ankh. And when you start to reprogram your body through sexual intimacy as you go through sexual orgasm, you're not focusing it here on how it feels to go through that pressure, or letting it actually go out there as you feel it, how the pleasure of it is expressing itself. Because the moment that sexual energy rises up and it exits your head, you have wasted that energy. It's gone. You can never regain it back. And this affects your whole entire health. Why? Because you're not actually creating the Ankh or connected to it. But the moment when you go through sexual pleasure in your sexual orgasm, you hold that breath and you focus it to your to your heart chakra. As you are releasing the fluid, you're no longer releasing the energy, but only the fluid. Then the energy, you bring it forth to your heart chakra and you pressure it inside to exit the other way around. And then you start to pressure it up all the way down to create an Ankh inside of your body. Then that energy is actually kept inside of you. You've not wasted your sexual energy. And so if you keep on doing that over and over and again, every time you go through sexual orgasm, you have created your Ankh. Every time you go through sexual intimacy, you're never going to waste your sexual energy. It'll never exit you, but the fluid will come out. but you'll be able to retain that energy inside and build yourself to the sense of the afterlife. And that is what the Ankh is all about. So you can carry the Ankh, but if you're not practicing what I just said, it is a total waste. Everybody in this world is carrying the Ankh. It's all about how well are you able to concentrate that energy, because if it actually goes up, it exits, then you've wasted it. So that's one of the reasons why I never talk about the Ankh, because I know some people will not even understand, this video. There's more to it than what I'm saying. And I personally think that I should actually talk about this. And maybe I'll come up again through the sense of the comment people will make if I see that there is a need for me to move forward with this and teach through the 8 breaths, which when you take, if you were to follow it up through the pattern of your Merkaba system, because your Merkaba is part of the 8 breaths you have within when you go to intimacy, when you go through the sexual pleasure. When you go through this sexual breaths that you take, it partakes with your natural breath, your Merkaba breath, and the Ankh breath. It goes on and on and on to the 8th breath, that if you were to practice it all together divinely so, your whole entire body will glow up. Now you're connecting to a different celestial energy, which so many people have forgotten about. So carrying an Ankh is important for you to practice that value. For if you carry that Ankh without you have to practicing that value, connecting and activating your Ankh within, then it is a total waste. It is still usable through a tool as you extend the connection of the conscious wood that has the data of information which allows you to connect to the deeper state of the nature. Then you can do that. But the most important value carrying the Ankh is if you've already activated it. If you activate your Ankh through sexual pleasure, going through the sexual orgasm, then you have a taste for the afterlife. My name is Ramal Kizrak, the Living Conscious Son. I thank you.